The video you are about to watch is mostly a fictional portrayal of Angelina Jolie's life, only including some true events and facts. The actual narrative is an interpretation of the book Moose by Stephine Klein. Thanks for watching. Looking back in life, I never thought I'd be where I am today. I'm happy with my children and my wonderful husband. Everything feels like a fairy tale. Even though I never expected to make it past my 20s, I am now 39 years old. My children are the light of my life. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. California brings on many expectations in a young girl's life. You feel the need to keep up in the latest fashion, have the best body, and most importantly, become famous. I go to Beverly Hills High School, and I'm a junior. Everyone calls me a trouble child. I get made fun of at school, have extreme expectations at home, and the only people I'm really close with are my brother and my mother. I'm battling anorexia and self-harming. Most people don't notice. And those who do say bring it upon myself. I just live day by day with James, my brother, by my side. On the door, screaming at me to wake up and get ready for school. We only had each other growing up, so we always took care of each other. It's beautiful out today, sunny and 75 degrees. I would much rather go skateboard down the boardwalk with friends causing mischief than go sit in a classroom for hours upon hours. To be honest, it really feels like school is a waste of my time right now. I'm not learning anything worth knowing for the rest of my life. Where are these important life lessons I need to know? I don't know how to do taxes, buy a car, buy a house, or how to manage bills. I thought high school was supposed to get me ready for the real world. Yet here we are, getting treated like children, but expected to act like adults. It's a complete double standard. Sitting in English class is probably the most boring thing in my life. Staring out the window, watching the clouds pass the sun like cars stopping and going at a traffic light. All I think about is what I'd rather be doing than sitting here, half listening to a teacher lecture us about things no one actually cares about. Being a teenager hasn't always been the easiest. It's not like I fit in with that many people anyways. In my mind, I'm ready to graduate. None of these people satisfy my needs to socialize. I feel alone most of the time, since I'm harassed on a daily basis from these basic Barbie girls I go to school with. Beverly Hills High is full of wannabes. Everyone wants to be an actor, actress, singer-songwriter, or anything that will link them to fame and fortune. I find the smaller things in life to be more pleasurable, because finding happiness isn't always that easy. Sitting on a beach at night listening to the waves crash along the shore makes me feel a little more alive. I enjoy the rock concerts, tattoos, and drugs just like any other troubled youth. The loud music, pain, and drugs make everything feel right again. I was first introduced to the reefer my freshman year. I was hanging out with the goth or dark senior kids. They would come to school high as clouds, and I always looked up to them. They provided an escape I thought I needed. I've never really been against drugs, but I never really thought about doing them either. On the downside, weed gives you the munchies. I push away all food when I'm sober, I don't eat when I'm drunk, and I throw up anything I eat when I'm high. I'm tall and lanky with very long legs, and I would prefer to keep it that way. Obesity is absolutely terrifying. I want to look like the girls on the magazine covers, small and sexy. I want to be able to see my collarbones and hip bones. I don't want to have a muffin top and thunder thighs. Dear Diary, it's finally Friday. I smoked it up with some bums on the beach this morning before school. I stared at the walls all day, and everything a teacher said went in one ear and out the other. I think Mom is worried about how skinny I've gotten. I'm 5'8", and I'm only about 105 pounds. She told me I look sickly. James has been trying to get me away from the bad crowd, too. I'm content with where I am in life, though. I don't need to worry about anything. I could be famous if I wanted to be, or I could spend the rest of my life as a beach bum. I'm all about the polar opposites. Please stay out of trouble if you go out tonight, pleaded James. I just shrugged my shoulders and looked at him. My sly reply was, I do what I want. I don't really plan on anything either. What comes, comes, and what goes, goes. I grabbed my black leather jacket from the stool and strutted to the door. I always played on the thought of modeling and fashion. Then a few blocks down the road, I see my friend, Archie Brown, leaning against the wall at our favorite diner. He shouts, What's good, Joel? Archie is basically a boyfriend, best friend, and brother all at once, but there isn't an official label on us. It's the same old Arch, you know that. James was just being protective when I left, but I know he's just trying to look out for me. I hope he still thinks I'm alright. James has always liked you, why wouldn't he now? I don't know. Let's grab some food though. I'm starving. We wandered into the diner, plopping down in the same old booth like we always do. Scanning the menu I've looked at 100 times, I know what Archie will get. A cheeseburger, fries, and a chocolate milkshake. I just ordered a vanilla milkshake. Unlike Archie, chocolate seems too sweet for my liking. Archie also knows about my eating problems. He never says anything though. He's pretty cool like that. Enjoying that burger, aren't you? I tease. With grease dripping out of his mouth, he just puts on a big old grin. Staring out the window and watching the sunset, it's my favorite time of day. The night consumes the sky quickly, and I'm loving every minute of it. There's something mysterious about the dark. It's a time of danger, love, temptation, mistakes, and fun. Walking home, I watched Archie slump up against the wall, talking to another friend. I wonder what I somewhat wondered what their conversation was about. I never knew if I loved Archie or not, and if I did, was it like your brother or a first love? As I got home, James was sitting in the living room listening to music. I don't believe anyone else was home. How was the diner? Asked James. Fine as usual, had a milkshake. Why aren't you going out tonight? I'm not sure I want to. I figured you and I could have some bonding time. Are you for real? It's like 1 in the morning. Pretty sure I'm going to bed. I thought this was early for you, teased James. Nah, I told you I do what I want when I want. Therefore, I'm going to bed, I said, slightly stern. I was tired, not wanting to deal with James' shenanigans, but I didn't want to go out either. I walked to my room, plopped down on the bed, and began to ponder about the thought of traveling. I love California, though. I'm not sure if I would want to live anywhere else in the US. Then I began to think about Paris. Ah, the city of love. I wonder if I went there, I could find love. Someone to put all the little pieces that I broke myself back together. 10 years later. Dear Diary, I miss Archie. We had lots of good memories. I lost him to drugs, and after he passed, I actually started taking care of myself. I tried harder in school, dropped the drugs, tried eating more, put the blade down, and basically tried to pull my life together. I've recently been cast into a movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I love everything about my role. I'm a badass assassin who finds out her husband is as well, but they work for competing agencies. My co-actor, Brad Pitt, is a dream. I've had my fair share of rough patches with men in my life, but he's something different. I'm very attracted to him in every aspect, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I think I see some pieces of Archie and Brad, and that's why I believe I'm so drawn to him. The thought of Archie actually bringing him and I together from heaven, or whatever may be out there, has crossed my mind quite a few times. After we're done filming, I'm bringing Brad to the old little diner Archie and I used to go to. It feels good to feel so free. Thinking back, I was troubled. Archie and James were the only people I had that held me to the universe. I always felt as if I was just going to float right off the surface. Where did you find this quaint little place? Brad pondered. I just smiled and said, I came here with a childhood best friend from the time I was about 8 years old to the summer after my senior year in high school. We came at least 3 times a week and sat in this very booth every time. Nice, so must have good food then, right? Yes, you have to get a milkshake with that too, though. As I was scanning through the memory, as I was scanning through the menu and sorting through all the old memories, I started to think about how far I've come since then, and how happy I was in that very moment. After a nice greasy cheeseburger and spending 3 long hours talking, Brad dropped me off at my apartment. He walked me to the door and kissed me goodnight. This wasn't just a first date peck either. If there was such thing as sparks flying or that romantic touch, then this was it. That kiss basically changed the rest of my life. When I floated through the door, I went to kiss Maddox goodnight and relieve the nanny of duty. Maddox, the other light of my life, is my first and only time adopted son. After Archie first passed, I really hit a rough patch in life. I wasn't sure where to go or what to do until I stumbled upon this adorable orphan while doing relief work in Cambodia. I adopted him in 2002, and since then I've been on the correct path in life. Dear Diary, I love everything that has happened in the last couple years. I have my two lovely children, I have my wonderful man, and I finished one of my favorite movies ever. Mr. and Mrs. Smith was a huge hit. Maddox gets along well with Brad. Brad loves him as well. We have each other, and that's all I need in life, happiness. You have to make up you have to make yourself better in order to let great things happen. You have to love yourself before anyone else can love you. Self-righteousness and happiness should be your goal in life, whether you be a beach bum or some famous actor. And on that note, I'm going to go play in the sand with my little man and the love of my life. Peace out and stay happy.